That said, I am doing readings if there are anyone if there's anyone here that is interested. I do them on an intuitive basis, and so basically I need you to put I consent in chat, and then I tune in to Spirit slash my team to see if we're in alignment to do a reading today in some capacity, and then whether or not that is, a full 15-minute like mini psychic channeled reading, or if it's just a card pull. I tune in and see what feels like it's in the highest and best to be of service. So that's how those work, or that's how I feel called to do it. Loompa. Yeah, I consent. That feels good. Let me see. Do you want? Okay, it feels like a oracle. I appreciate that. Consensual agreement. I am all about consent. It feels like the oracle cards are what's calling out in this. So the deck that I use is the Shaman's Dream, and it's a beautiful gift that I received a while back. But we'll just bring through whatever is in your highest and best. It could be one card, it could be multiple. We'll see what kind of pops out here, and just go from there. Let me tip this down just so you can see me shuffle a little bit better. So whatever is in the highest and best for Lumba. Ooh, okay. We had 3 pop out. All right. So first we have 48 Sky Dancers Surrender. Let me adjust my seat here for just a second while I'm tuning in. I'm really drawn to in this card to this kind of like upper fiery, almost mane or like hair, or just like I'm really drawn to like the top of this butterfly-y dragonfly like figure, and I'm getting a lot of it's like I'm getting a lot of like flowing energy. I'm getting a lot of there feels a lot of balance with this card. It feels very like you have the masculine energy, you have the feminine energy, and you're just kind of you're going with the you're going with the flow of life, and it's where you're sending out so much like love and light and rays of just like goodness just coming up of it's almost like your bat signal, just like I am in surrender to the world, and whatever's coming is coming, and it just feels really good. That feels really peaceful. The next one that popped out was Crown Games Right Use of Power number 8. Done. So this card I guess I was kind of looking at it because it's giving me this this feeling around remembering, being aware of, being conscious of, but remembering who you serve and making sure. Hold on. Yeah, there's an intensity coming through of it's like an intensity and almost like a strict parent where it's like be aware of, or like make sure you don't forget where you came from. Like make sure, let me think about how to articulate this. It doesn't feel like you've gone like off your rocker, or it doesn't feel like you've gone astray. Like it doesn't feel like it's happened, but it feels like it's almost like a warning of staying in alignment with who your true self is. And as you're getting like building this awareness of your power and receiving that, you're using this power wisely, and that it's not like, don't watch your intentions, be conscious of your intentions with this connection, with this surrender, with who you're interacting with. But it doesn't feel like this has happened per se. It feels more like a warning of like, don't use your power for bad, like use your power for good. I struggle with that specific terminology for myself, but uh okay. But it's a very intense feeling of like, be consciously aware of where you're using your power. Be very consciously aware of your intentions behind it, and make sure that it's aligned with your heart, and your head is not, and the anger is not. Maybe, uh, yeah, yeah, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you're picking that up. The don't let the ego influence the power you have to have serve higher good. Yeah, yeah. And then the other one that came through was Watcher's Transpersonal. Let me just look at this briefly before I show it. I love how all three of these cards are really heady. And by that I mean all of the energy and attention is coming into this like crown area. Even that last card, I felt of just the anger, very, or like the sternness coming into the head. And so even this card is feeling, I was very much directed up to that crown forehead area. And this one just feels like it's like I said all of that, and my attention was brought to that, and now all of a sudden they're like, okay, look at the throat. And so now it's coming, the feeling is coming down from, all right, all of the information, everything that's in your head, and using your power wisely, and now coming into speaking your truth, and speaking from a place of alignment and a place of love. And speaking from your heart, and feeling it's like moving. We started up here and we're moving down into the heart space. Good. I'm glad. There's something I'm feeling in my third eye and my right eye. So give me just a second to see what. I feel like I'm I'm stressed. Like I feel like there's some stress coming through. Um, my eye isn't twitching, but it feels like it wants to twitch. Have you been have you been really stressed recently as it relates to finding the balance between like ego self and your higher self or your power? Mm, okay. You've been really stressed to manifest more of what's aligned. Let it go. It feels like the stress the stress that you're you're putting on yourself, the pressure you're putting on yourself is blocking the manifestations because you're so focused on what you don't have and so stressed about trying to create that that it's not allowing that energy in, like all the stuff that you've put there. So let the stress go. Relax. Remind yourself like it is done. It is here. It is coming. It is here. Yeah. Exhale deeply. That's good. I'm just, like I said, I felt it came into kind of like my right eye area. And so I just feel, I don't know, compelled to tap here, compelled to kind of help move whatever that is. So a few deep breaths. And if I invite you to, if it feels resonant, to do some tapping also in that same, like in a similar area on your face. If you want to tap kind of on that upper cheekbone underneath that right eye, that's where it feels like it is. And or kind of up over the nose and then a little bit into the third eye. It's just tap, exhale, and just let it go. Good. Good. Shake it out. You're welcome. Thanks for the follow and also tuning in here. I appreciate you stopping in and chatting, and I invite you to donate if that feels resonant with you. If not, I'm grateful for your support. So, thank you for being here.